Alright, what's up everybody? It's your boy Akeem and welcome to today's vlog. Here to talk about week 9 of the 2014 college football season, and it's time for me to give you my key matches for this week as well as my predictions. Start with tonight's matchup between Miami, the U, at Virginia Tech. This could be a good ACC showdown. Now, I believe that both these teams are already out of the ACC championship race, but I think it could be a good game for you guys to watch. Now, the problem for Virginia Tech is at quarterback with Michael Brewer. 11 touchdown passes and 11 interceptions. He is the major problem for that Hokie offense. He needs to show a little bit of improvement and have a good game in order for the Hokies to beat the Hurricanes. But in this matchup, I have to go with the U in this one. I do like the quarterback, Brad Kaya. He's doing a great job as a true freshman. 16 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. Next game, Boise State is going to be hosting BYU. Now, obviously, with the injury of Tyson Hill, I have to go with Boise State in this matchup, but I have to mention Hill. He's a great quarterback, and he has shown that he is the most valuable player in college football. Without Tyson Hill, BYU is not a good team offensively. He is a major loss for the Cougars. Next game, headed to the Pac-12 Conference. Oregon, number 6 ranked team in the country, is going to be traveling to Cal to face the Golden Bears. Now, this could be a great offensive display by both these two teams, but defensively for Cal, they have not been playing well this season. This should be a good win for Oregon, staying with just one loss in the season. Next game is going to be my upset game of the week, featuring the Texas Longhorns traveling to Manhattan to face number 11 Kansas State. And the reason why I have to go with the Longhorns in this one is because I still believe in our team, and they showed a lot of heart, and I was very proud of their efforts against OU and that Red River rivalry. Despite the fact that they did lose, they played with a lot of heart in this matchup. I'm so proud of this team. They just need to make them adjust things mentally, and I still like our defense. Our defense has been performing pretty well this season, and they're going to be traveling to Manhattan playing a good offense led by quarterback Waters, but I still think that our defense is going to hold Kansas State just enough to help off the offense, pull off a couple of points, and pull off the upset. Next game, number 16, Nebraska is going to be hosting Rutgers. Now, Rutgers do have 5 wins this season. They could pull off the upset, but last week against Ohio State, the Scarlet Knights got stomped by the Buckeyes, and I think that Nebraska could be due for another great game, remaining with just one loss in the season to Michigan State, and they're still on the race to win their division and making it to the Big Ten championship. Next game, UNC is going to be traveling to Virginia to face the Cavaliers. Now, this is an important Coastal Division game for UVA. Only one loss in the season, and they're tied with Pittsburgh and Duke. All 3 of these teams do have one loss, and the Cavaliers are looking to stay alive. And UNC last week beat Georgia Tech 48-43. They can't pull off the upset, but I have to go with the Cavaliers in this matchup. Headed back to the Big Ten, Maryland's going to be playing at Wisconsin. Now, Maryland has been playing impressively, in my opinion. They have been, honestly, the most surprising team in the Big Ten Conference. They're 2-1 in conference play, and they can't pull off this upset. Now, the one thing that the Terps need to work on, they need to stop the run and stop Melvin Gordon to have him rush for over or under 100 yards. But I think what most important, I think that Gordon is going to get his yardage running the football. They just cannot allow him to get into the open field. Once in the open field, all hell breaks loose, and he will bust loose and score long touchdown runs. So they're going to have to stop the big plays from Melvin Gordon. But I'm still going to have to go with Wisconsin in this one because the defense has been played better than the Maryland Terrapins defense, averaging 17.7 points per game allowed. Next game, an in-state rivalry between Michigan State, number 18 in the nation, against Michigan. Now, Michigan has been the most disappointing team in the Big Ten Conference thus far in this season. They're 3-4 overall. Very disappointing. I think that Brady Holt is on the hot seat at the end of the season. This should be an easy win for the Spartans. I have to go with Spartans remaining with just one loss in the season. Headed over to the SEC Conference, Kentucky, who is 5-2 in the season, is going to be hosting number 1 Mississippi State. Now, this can't be an upset, but last week against LSU, the Tigers crushed the Wildcats 41-3, and with a great offense for Mississippi State, led by quarterback Dak Prescott, I still think that the Bulldogs will remain undefeated and pull off a victory. Next game, going back to the ACC, Georgia Tech's going to be traveling to Pittsburgh to face the Panthers. Now, Panthers have a good featured back, and James Conner, one of the nation's leading rushers, with just under 1,000 yards so far in the season, 959 yards to be exact. Now, Georgia Tech is actually coming back from back-to-back ACC losses to Duke and North Carolina, and they're looking to bounce back in this one. I have to go with the Yellow Jackets beating Pittsburgh, giving Pittsburgh's second loss in ACC play. South Carolina is going to be traveling to Auburn to face the number 5 Tigers. South Carolina has been the most disappointing team in the SEC conference. I have to go with Auburn in this one. They have a great offense led by quarterback Nick Marshall. Headed back to the Big Ten, OSU, Ohio State is going to be 13th ranked team in the nation. Is going to be traveling to Beaver Stadium to face Penn State. Now, Penn State can pull off this upset, but quarterback Christian Hackenberg has been dealing with more of a sophomore slump this season. Yes, he has passed for over 1,600 yards, but just 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He's going to have a good game in order to pull off the upset, but I'm going to have to go with the Buckeyes in this matchup. Next game, headed back to the Pac-12. The final 2 games we need to talk about. Number 20 USC is going to be playing number 19 Utah, and this game is going to be played at Utah. Now I'm going to have to go with the Trojans in this one because the Trojans had a couple of close losses. They did have that upset bid to Boston College earlier in the season, and they lost to Arizona State a couple of weeks ago due to a last-second Hail Mary pass at the end of the game. Had that pass not been converted, USC would have won this game. Now Utah had a great victory over UCLA and had an overtime thriller against Oregon State last week. They struggled a little bit. I'm going to have to go with the Trojans in this matchup. I think the offense is going to be too much for Utah's defense. And last but not least, number 14, Arizona State is going to be traveling to Washington to face the Huskies. Now, Arizona State is looking to stay alive in the Pac-12 South Division. And last week, against that good Stanford defense, they posted up 26 points, pulling off the 26-10 victory. And Washington can pull off the upset in this one. I do like their offense. Chris Peterson is getting Washington into the right direction. They do have 5 wins in this season, but I think that Arizona State has too much momentum towards them. They have too much at stake, more at stake than Washington, in my opinion. I have to go with the Sun Devils in this one. Now, the next time I'm going to catch you guys will be later on today, where I will talk about this week's game of the week, as well as the keys to victories for both of the 2 teams. Thank you for watching this vlog from the Football Source. I'm your man, Akeem McCall. Be easy.